Hello and welcome to the Stamp Camp. I'm Glenda Calkins, your independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. And tonight for Tuesday's Tips and Techniques, I have a new technique. It is called leaf stamping and embossing. I seen this technique on Split Coast Stampers, I think it was last week, and I thought I would give that a try when I got home from vacation. So I went out to my tree in the yard and pulled off a few leaves. Yes, you do need real leaves to do this technique. It's kind of cool. So the leaves I used yesterday to when I created my card for today, I pulled right off a tree outside the door because it was raining. I don't even know what kind of a tree it is. It's close to the house, that's all I know. But tonight I am going to be using maple leaves from further down my yard. So a little bit different. Let's change the camera. Here is the card that I created yesterday. Like I said, it was raining out, so I went and pulled some leaves off the bush and kind of tree in front of my yard. But tonight I went out and I grabbed some maple leaves off our tree. So we're going to do a little bit different. I like to do a variety of sizes, but you could just do one size if you liked. You can just do one leaf on the card. The choice is yours. I'm just going to show you how to do the technique. I think it turns out pretty cool. So let's get started. Now the card base is very vanilla. So I'm just going to fold that in half. Hello everyone, thanks for joining me. I see some of you are already sharing. Thanks so much, I appreciate that. If you like it, share it, right? Our card that we are going to be doing the stamping and embossing on is the Early Espresso. And you can use an embossing buddy and go over this if you want. The embossing buddy is gonna keep the gold embossing powder from flicking on your card where you don't want it. I kind of like that little added flick on the card, so I'm not gonna use the embossing buddy. You also want to use the Versamark that is very well inked. I, in fact, put re-inker on mine yesterday, so it was nice and wet and inked. Now, if you wanted to, you could just do like one leaf there and one up there, which maybe we'll do, I don't know. You do want, this one I see is ripped, you do want fresh leaves. Like just went and ripped these off the tree because the leaves I had extra laying on my table this morning were all crinkly and busted apart. So you need nice kind of new. I think it might work with colored leaves, but I went with the green just because they are a little bit sturdier. But you could, you know, just randomly place them around like that. Or if you wanted to, you could come up with a couple different directions. You know, the choice is yours. I think we'll go with these, kind of like that maybe. You can even have it coming off a little bit if you like that look. You know, you're just going to cover the front. So the first thing that you're going to do is you're going to smush those leaves into the Versamark. I'm going to grab a paper towel. Whoops, I hit that late. And I might see you want it to look nice and wet. If I go this way, I can see how wet it's getting. Oops, but I broke my leaf. That just adds character, right? So that looks pretty wet. Yes, you can see that. So I'm going to place that kind of right there. Now you don't want to move it, so leave it. You could take that off and emboss it and do each leaf one at a time, but I like quick and easy stamping. So I first inked up all my leaves. Whoops. And place them on because I don't have the patience to do stamp, emboss, stamp, emboss. I just like stamp them on, get her done. Okay, so we're going to put that one there. It looks like I got a little edge here. I can put one, so I'm going to ink that. Cool. And this one's kind of chewed up a little bit, so that's kind of cool. Little technique. Okay, so I like that. The next thing you're going to do is you're going to take just a piece of cardstock, because you don't want those to move around, and you're going to lay that down on there, and then you're just going to press. You could take a heavier brayer and go across. You could take a rolling pin, but I'm just applying pressure with my fingers and just rubbing that. And what you're doing is you're rubbing that Versamark into your cardstock so that we can emboss it. Now when I pick these up, ooh, it's hard because it's on, oh, these turned out awesome. It's hard because, can you see them? Yeah, look at that. These turned out great. All right, so now we're going to put the gold. All right. Now, I see where I had my finger and it got a blob. I don't want a blob. I don't mind the little staggering ones, but I don't want a blob of embossing powder. So I'm going to just take this brush here, and this is kind of a bigger brush than what I would like, but that's all I can find right now. Cool. I want to get just this point right here a little bit better. All right. Take my heat gun. It's going to get a little noisy. Bear with me here. And we're going to start embossing these. Who would have thought embossing with leaves? Isn't that gorgeous? Look at how that pops. Love it. I did break off my little stems. I suppose if you wanted them on, you could leave them on, and then you would have all little like straight edge lines. Isn't that cool? Now if I wanted to, I could come in and fill in with some more leaves, but I'm gonna go with that. I think that is gorgeous. So I use the metallic gold brush, and because I just want the outside edge, I'm not gonna let that center go to waste. So I'll use this on another project. I just use the rectangle, stitch rectangles, cut that out, because this is gonna be on here. So don't waste that center, right? So I'm going to take liquid glue because I embossed and it does curl, and we're going to go around the edge here. Try to stay a little bit inside, because if you get any of that glue on that foiling, kind of is hard to get off, and it smears and it doesn't look that great. So now I'm gonna just hold that there for a second. I like the maple leaves. Like I said, I don't know what kind of tree that was. It's right out my front door. But I do like the maple leaves. I do. And now we can go ahead and put that on our card front. It's just that easy. Okay, there we go. The next thing I did was I used the Banner Year stamp set. Actually, it's sold in a bundle in the mini. So you get the Banner Pick-a-Punch and then the stamp set. And I went with the Happy Thanksgiving. I love this font, this script. I think it is gorgeous. And I stamped that in Early Espresso on the very vanilla. And then I used the Banner Punch to flag my ends. So I'm going to just attach that like so. Then I just use some of the tiny little dimensionals. Pop that up. I lost my U-pick tool, so I had to grab an old-time paper piercer. So on my card here, I went on an angle. This one, maybe I'll go straight. I kind of picked a spot where it was a little blank, like so. Then I just love these little metallic pearls. I think they go awesome. And I kind of just went all over. Kind of, let's see, there's 5. This one I have a little more on. But isn't that cool? Love that. Who would have thought leaves from your own tree to stamp and emboss with? Way cool. So that is Tuesday's tips and techniques for you. If you like what you've seen, make sure that you like, follow, and share it. If you are not a follower or have not liked my Facebook page, I would appreciate it if you did that. I am like 3 followers away from my $1,000 goal. $1,000 1,000 subscribers to my Facebook page. That was my goal for September. I need 3 more subscribers if I'm going to meet it, which I don't know. So if you like it, make sure that you like, share, and follow. My YouTube channel and my Facebook page is The Stamp Camp. If you need any of the supplies, visit my blog, www.thestampcamp.com. This is the hostess code for September. So that is it for tonight. Thanks for sharing. I appreciate that. This is cool. I'm going to teach my sister. Teach away. Love it. And all the different leaves that you can find out there. Mix and match your leaves. They don't all have to be from the same tree. So that is it for tonight. Thanks for stopping by.